everybody, this is a February twin flame reading. It's focused very much around the 222 portal from the 2nd of February to the 22nd of February 2022. Personally, I'm getting a lot of higher perspective, wanting to penetrate into our consciousness, the awareness of the oneness and the unity at the higher levels, and bringing that down into our hearts whilst we navigate the duality of polarities that exist in the 3D reality. There was a channel that came in on the first, just the evening before the second of the second, so as the portal was just opening. My higher self, when it channels, it refers to 3D reality here on earth as under the illusion of the sun and the moon. And what the channel was referring to, there's always light codes that come through these channels, was our senses within the 3D reality. So how we physically, how we sense through our physical body the smells, sounds, and sensations, as an example, and how actually those physical senses, when we bring the higher energy in through our oneness and unity, through the higher dimensional aspects of ourselves, as we bring the energy in from source, love energy, we can transform those sights, sounds and smells into something that is pleasurable to us or pleases us, that is creative. We can transform what is actually already there. So if we're smelling something we don't like, we could smell beautiful fragrances, or we could smell really awful smells, and it really has a big impact on our pleasure in that moment. And so that's just an example. I was talking about how we bring that vibration of pleasure through. It can alter not just the way we perceive the world around us, which it does do, but also it can alter the world around us. It alters what we vibe in to our environment. But it felt even stronger than that. It felt almost like talking about, I think, 7th dimensional reality, where we're literally creating the world around us, and then in the 3rd dimension it's becoming real, like it's manifesting. So I really feel that this 222 portal is about really anchoring those higher creative forces. We can do that through sacred sexuality and just through being in unity within ourselves. So we can do it with a partner, we can do it on our own, because we are in unity with our twin flames already at those higher levels. So what we can do in the 3D reality is we can align to those higher creative forces and allow ourselves to be vessels for them to come in and transform our reality, which is manifestation, and it's also grounding the higher love templates and grounding the twin flame unity. And so even before that channel came through, these cards came out. So I was planning to do a twin flame reading last week, but hasn't come through until today. So I realised that the channel and the the cards are actually connected. And then I've been working them through and grounding them, as I always do before I bring the reading through for the whole week. So we're well into the 222 portal now. And I didn't record the channel, but straight after it came through, I tried to remember it. So I have recorded it while I was still in that vibration. So there are light codes coming through in the channel. And I will add that to the end of this. But it's not as clear because it was me just trying to remember what the channel said, and it wasn't the exact words that came through. When the channel comes through, it's the words used are a bit different. That kind of channel. So at the top of the reading here is the oneness card. So that is the active card. That is what we're bringing in from the higher dimensions. We're bringing the oneness in. And then the two cards, I would say the sunrise and sunsets represents the divine masculine, and the reflection represents the divine feminine, both within us and also to reflect mainly the dominant divine masculine of the pair and the dominant divine feminine of the pair. But both of them, to me, represent the opposites touching. So the oneness coming down into two separate vessels here, the sun and the moon, or the day and the night, or the sky and the water, like the effect on each other, the place where they meet, the place where they merge. So one is a transition between the two polarities, sunrises and sunsets, and one is the reflection. So the moon reflects the light from the sun onto the water. So even when they're separate, there's still a reflection. There's still an imprint. So the night is lit by the sun still, because the moonlight is the reflection of the sun. And of course the day has shadows where the light doesn't come through. So there's this, it's like the yin and the yang, there's a seed of each in the other. So I'm going to read these cards, the oneness that we're bringing in. Each twin holds the beauty and light of each other. This card reminds you that you and your twin are in union energetically, even though you may be apart or in transition. Well, that's exactly what I was just saying. Okay, and then so the divine masculine component, sunrises and sunsets. So this is where the sun is appearing or disappearing, right? So it's the moving towards, moving into consciousness or moving out of consciousness. It was here that you woke me up. There we go, moving into consciousness. I found you and my truth in the sunrises and sunsets of each day. The answers we often seek lie in front of us, within the beauty of our heart and nature that unfold before us. It's literally waking up. It's literally the difference between waking and sleeping, isn't it? Being conscious and being unconscious. And obviously the subconscious is the more feminine. What happens below the conscious awareness that you feel, that you perceive, that you know, that permeates out more like in waves. And then you have the consciousness is the daylight. You see it with your physical senses, and therefore know it through those physical senses, through the 3D senses. Ishakataka tikitaka toko chokoso toko toko potoko. Akachisa taka pitika taka toko. Akatiti tika taka toko toko chokoso toko tika taka potoko toko chokota takita kaka toko. Okay, and then the divine feminine is reflection. In reflection is the time when our hearts speak to each other. No matter what the distance or situation, we remember that all we are and that our twin is just a thought away. Remember this when you feel lost. So it's again, that underlying knowing and feeling and perception, not the one coming from the 3D senses, not coming from touching and feeling and smelling and hearing, but coming from the energetic, from the knowing, from the higher. Isha taka ka toko ko toko choko sotati taka 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 pataka. Akatiti taka 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 ko toko ko choko ko toko sotaki tika taka toko choko sati taka toko puko. Asati ti 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 taka 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 ka. Akatatati taka taka toko ko toko to 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 to. Akatiti ti 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 taka 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 to 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 to. Atatatati taka taka taki taka toko ko to 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 to. Atati ti 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 taka toko to 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 kita tati taka taka ta. Atati ti taki taka taka ko toko ko toko ko toko ko toko to 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 toko ko. Akati ti 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 taka taka ta 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 ti ta 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 taka taka ka. Akati ti 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 ta taka toko toko ko toko ko atiti ti atata ka to 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 taka tika taka ta. Akati ti 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 taka taka ka toko ko to 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 to. Atati taka 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 toko 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 ko toko ko. Akati ti 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 ti. Atati ti 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 taka 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 toko to tati taka taka ta ta. Atati ti 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 taka 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 toko 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 to 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 to. Atati ti 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 ta ta ti taka taka ti taka to 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 to. So you may also feel some ascension symptoms as you receive the codes from the higher oneness unity into your physical bodies, and that might feel like some aches and pains in your physical body. Might get some headaches, some detox headaches, sore throat, some muscle fatigue, maybe even a bit of upset stomach. It's a transformation that's happening. It's a cleansing. Those are really sensitive. You may even really feel like you're clean all the way to your bones. You might have a stronger sensation of parts of your body. You may be able to feel muscle layer, fat layer, fascia layer, bones. You may feel your brain inside your head. You may not. If you don't feel those things, it doesn't mean that it hasn't worked. It's just some of those really sensitive people may notice that as part of a transformation that is happening at the moment during this 222 portal. Rest is really important. Being aware of how you're individual whilst also the same as everybody else, one with everybody else, especially your twin. Feeling a heart activation, a throat activation, and a soul seat just in the thymus area there between the heart and the throat. There's an activation, third eye, crown, strengthening of the lower back and anchoring down through the midline, down into the earth, connecting heaven and earth and expanding. Okay, blessings everybody. Really listen to your body. Listen to what your body wants to eat. Listen when you need to drink water. Feet on the ground. I can feel feet on the ground. And divine love pouring in through the crown and into the earth. Okay, I'll just attach the channel that came through, and blessings everybody. 1st of the 2nd, 22. New moon in Aquarius, coming up to the new 222 portal. Channel just came through. Under the illusion of the sun and the moon, I take that to mean here on earth, there is a satisfaction from the flesh, the fragrance, and the sound. Yet each perception of the fragrance, the flesh and the sound has the ability to disturb or delight. Yet at the core of every being is the capacity to call in and download higher vibration through spirit that can transcend and transmute and alter those impacts and perceptions coming from the external world. And yes, transform them into a thing of beauty and pleasure.